All right, well, my friends, I have been looking around for a new pedal. I've been playing a couple of different kinds of pedals recently, and I've been looking for something that I just didn't quite find the one that felt right to me. And so I decided to take a chance on this guy. This is the brand new Rogers Dyno-Matic pedal. This is obviously for anybody who has played Rogers in the far distant past. The design cues of this thing draw a great deal of the design cues here from the old Swivel-Matic pedals, and this thing is amazingly adjustable. So let me show you what we're talking about when I say that. First of all, one of the first things you'll notice, it's a single post design, right? And you've got the spring tension adjustment right up here, this arm where the spring tension is. So that's your spring tension, and the knurled knobs front and back right here where you can actually get to them without having to get off your drum throne. You can actually just reach down from where you're playing, from playing position, and adjust those things. For holy cow, how cool is that? The entire assembly, this entire cam assembly, everything with the spring, is height adjustable, so that you can make sure that the beater is striking directly in the middle of your bass drum, regardless of what size bass drum that is. It accommodates an 18 through, I think, like a 30 or something ridiculous like that. I'm not sure who's playing a 30-inch bass drum, but yeah, better men than I am, for sure. Okay, so then a couple other things to draw your attention to. It is a single chain. It is a single chain design with a channel, and it looks like actually the gap, if you can see this here on the very front of the pedal, looks like it could potentially be designed to take up a wider chain, either a double chain or a strap, or there may be options for this thing coming out, because this cam does actually come off the pedal if you loosen it from the drum key adjustment right here. So that whole thing does actually come off, so that you can change the position of that thing. Couple other really cool things to keep in mind about this pedal. I mean, first of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the gorgeous Art Deco design cues on this thing. I mean, it looks like it was, a piece of steampunk in 1930. It's just really, really cool. From everything from just these little, like this little design right here. It looks like it was a piece of the Empire State Building, for crying out loud. You've got this thing on the spring adjustment, the arm that sticks up towards you. Look at the gorgeous design, the Rogers logo right in there. Let's see what else I can show you. With this adjustment, you can adjust not only the angle of the spring adjustment, but it also will adjust the cam in terms of how much chain is being fed. You can adjust the height of the pedal by loosening that and then turning the cam, and you can also turn to adjust the beater angle independently of that as well. And I already told you about the height of the thing able to be changed. You've got, of course, a Rogers drum key that comes with it right there. That's handy as all get out. Okay, couple other things. Really big deal for me is how the attachment of the pedal works. And so this is really cool. You've got this little channel here, rubber gasketing on both sides here to accommodate the hoop. On the underside of this thing, this is a knurled knob adjustable with a spring on it, and a rubber grip on the top side. So that's what's actually going to be grabbing onto your hoop. And then, of course, look at what happens. How do you do that? Well, it works like that. And it's on there, and it stays put. Of course, you've got spikes to throw in there if you need them. You might not need them, though. There's some really great rubber gasketing on the bottom of this pedal to make sure it stays put on carpeting or on wood floor, and some bumpers right there on the heel plate side. And then another kind of interesting thing about this pedal, which is definitely reminiscent of the old pedals, is that this is a steel bar going from the main pedal assembly to the heel plate. Through the adjustment of this drum key, you can move the heel plate forward and backward. What that does ultimately, it changes how much of the footboard is available underneath the cam. It changes the chain angle when you do that. Okay, so that's pretty dang cool. You can slide this thing forward and backwards. And then there's another cool little thing, which I think is maybe not even necessary, but it's cool because it's just one more option. Push this little thing down and it unhooks that bar from the main assembly. So you can actually pull that thing out. And that helps to fold the whole thing up and put it in whatever kind of case you want to go with. Now, the nice thing is, this pedal also comes with its very own Rogers bag, which is pretty cool. It's got like weathered brass looking grommets on it, and it comes with an instruction manual. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the beater yet. So, talking about things that can be adjusted on this thing, let's say you've got a dual-sided beater on this thing, and you don't have to actually do any adjusting. There's a spring holding it up against this little T-bar here at the top of the post. If you want to change what sound you're getting, you don't want to play felt anymore, just push it towards the cam, spin it around, and look at that. You've got a plastic beater now ready to hit the head. So, couple observations about this thing. It came out of the box folded down, with the spring adjustment folded down, and this post was dropped down about as far as it could go. The initial settings on this thing were a little funky, honestly, because I was having an issue with the top of this pedal actually coming back and making contact with the assembly that holds the beater in place. So it was actually getting some clickage in there that was not cool. And so, fortunately, all I had to do was make that height adjustment, and I did actually change the cam angles, and I was able to alleviate that. Now I don't have any of that sound whatsoever, so that's great. So it does take a little bit of doing, but it's nice and smooth. The nice thing about the single chain is you're moving less material there, obviously, so the weight of it is less, so it feels pretty light under the foot. And I've got really big feet, which is, by the way, why you don't see the toe stop here. It comes with a toe stop installed. I did remove it so that my size 13 shoes can actually get on there and make some music. Okay, so Rogers Dyno-Matic pedal. Pretty dang happy so far. I'm going to try it on a gig or two, see how it goes, and I can follow back around with you guys and let you know what we think. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.